Okay, you guys, so we are back with another video, and in this video we're gonna dive into a more condensed version of Nicki Minaj going off on Jay-Z, because I want to get all the tweets, I want to get all that she's saying, and I want to make note of it so that we can come back to it if needs be at a later time or at a later date. So that we can see what has changed, what might be right, what might be off, or anything like that. No, make no mistakes. Nicki is not just calling out Jay-Z only. She's calling out Lizzo, because Lizzo came out and said, the Epstein file, has a lot of innocent people named who never took part in anything, and what they're doing is not right. This is not verbatim to what Lizzo said. I'm just paraphrasing. So Lizzo is basically saying the same thing that I've been saying. And the reason why I'm saying this is because it's what I've observed. If you have read any of the details, and if you have been reading any of the information over the months that they have been putting out stuff out there piece by piece, you would see that just names are being just casually mentioned, right? Casually mentioned. And as such, I get what Lizzo is saying. But what Nicki Minaj is saying, she didn't say it out loud. She's dragging Lizzo, because what Lizzo is giving the sense is that she is protecting Jay-Z and she's coming to Jay-Z's rescue. And I understand what Lizzo is saying. I definitely understand what Lizzo is saying. And I equally understand what Nicki Minaj is saying just the same about Lizzo. So she dragged Lizzo 2 hours ago, as per the post. She's saying, Fat Lizzo lost 300 pounds just to sell 300 albums. Listen to Nicki. This woman is one freaking lyrical genius. Then she says, so now she has loose skin and a flop album and weird. Loose skin is normally called floppy skin. So she's saying 300 pounds for 300 albums. Her skin is loose and the album is flop. I can't deal with Nicki. I cannot deal with her. Nicki is in her moment, and you guys know Nicki has a strong disdain towards Jay-Z. And it has been said that, some critics believe that Nicki has a strong disdain towards Jay-Z because Roc Nation has refused to sign her over the years. But I don't think, if that is even true, I don't think that's the entirety of the story, because I think there's more to it. If you guys don't know, it is always said that Jay-Z, 50 Cent, and those people, they are the gatekeepers of the industry. And we've heard enough about Jay-Z to say it seems to be true, or even if it's not true, there's some amount of truth to it. That much you can tell, because come on, the guy holds the power to who performs at the Super Bowl. And if he holds the power to who performs at the Super Bowl, come on. It's only natural. And even when he wanted to step away from that and deny that, the CEOs and the COOs, when they came out after that Lil Wayne incident, they were like, yeah, Jay-Z was the one who made the decision. When he said the decision was not entirely up to him, they basically threw Jay-Z under the bus and said, we're not lying. Jay-Z holds that power to that decision, right? So, continuing with Nicki's post, 15 hours ago, she said, toodles. So she's saying bye-bye to someone. We're going to get something more on that. Then she says, as they do their ritual tonight, she knows what's going on, This woman, she knows what's going on. Remember when she told us about that jab, and she told us what that jab was doing to people? And when she told us what that jab was doing to people, allegedly, they said that she was lying because they wanted her to attend an event. And she said she's not going to attend the event because you have to be jabbed to attend the event. And she said her cousin in Barbados or Trinidad. I don't remember where she said her cousin lived. And she said her cousin told her about someone who got the jab and they ended up with ED, erectile dysfunction, and they were saying she was lying. And after that, it was revealed that she wasn't lying. It does in fact result in that, as per what some medical experts came out and said. And they wanted her to attend the summit because they wanted to pass a law somewhere in that circle, and they wanted to call it the Minaj law. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, because that is still on the internet. So when I'm telling you that, it's not just no, they wanted Nicki to attend the summit. They've always invited her because she has always been an advocate on the internet, but people are just hypocritical. People are hypocritical. And this is why I say when I see hypocrisy, I'm going to forever speak out about it, because some people want you to believe, irrespective of the fact that the information is there, they want you to believe that Nicki is just standing up for Christians because she has an agenda, and she has always been an advocate for people. And I said, as I've said, right across the board. She has never been one-sided on anything. She has always been the one to stand in the gap. Now, let's continue, right? Because she's saying tonight there's going to be a ritual. Last night was a full moon. I think she might have the date messed up. Last night was a full moon. That moon was so beautiful. I'm so happy that I saw it last night when I went outside. No. And then there's a lot of things going on in our solar system at this point. So I believe she's right, because I saw some videos on TikTok that were talking about it's ritual season because of the energy in the atmosphere and this and that and that and that and the solar storm and all of that. So she might be onto something here. So she's saying, as they do their ritual tonight, God Almighty will reveal himself to them. The ritual will backfire on them. God will not be mocked. Blessed is the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Every tongue that rises up against me in judgment shall be condemned and put to shame. Watch. Magic wand at the end of that. So honey, she's not going to stop, because with that list coming out and the internet is going after Jay-Z, she has always been going after Jay-Z, even when no one is going after Jay-Z. And that's how the rumor started that she was suffering from schizophrenia. And Sloan Bella was the one who came out to say, no, she's not suffering from schizophrenia. That's what they want you to believe. And then Tasha K revealed that they want to get Nicki in a conservatorship, and they want to get Kenneth Petty away from her, because Kenneth Petty is the one who has been holding down the fort. I'm going to tell you guys something else in another video that they've been doing to Nicki, and we all, including myself, thought it was just another thing that happened to celebrity, but it was a plot to actually get to her. But we're going to talk about that in another video. Now, 16 hours ago, her and Chucky. This woman has an amazing sense of humor, and I love that about her. So she has Chucky on the floor dying of laughter. And let's see what else. 16 hours ago, she says, porta potty or whatever the F your name is. George Clinton, sit your stinking ass down. So she's telling George Clinton, sit your stinking ass down. Okay? She's going after this man. She knows what she knows. Then she has, laughed my face off or laughed my ass off, whichever one it means. She has Lizzo again about she lost 300 pounds to sell 300 albums with a Chucky on it. Then she says, what sensible, forward-thinking, cutting-edge leading nation is having a debate on whether or not there should be voter ID, like they're actually fighting not to have people present ID while voting for your leaders. Do you get it? Do you get it now? There's something that Nicki said that I have been saying. I said that they have been using the LGBTQIA community as a prop, and then once they're done with that game, they're going to drop you all. They're going to remove every single ounce of protection, And it is true. Nicki is seeing the same thing because now everyone that had gender reaffirming or reassignment surgery, initially when they applied for the ID after getting the surgery done, they were promised. So what they did basically, they promised the LGBTQIA community once they got the surgery, once they has the JJ, once they have the boobs, they could change their ID to identify as a female. So for the men who got the boobs, who got the vagina surgery, they could change their identity to female, right? They made that promise to them. But what I've seen on TikTok is that when they get the passport, when they get the ID, it's coming back as a sex or gender man. So that is what she's talking about, right? And now, a lot of them won't be able to vote because there's just a bunch of confusion going on as it relates to their identity. And that is why they believe that Nicki is against the LGBTQIA community. But Nicki is very smart. Nicki can see the games that they're playing. Nicki can see both sides of the political fence. And I saw that too. And I said it, maybe 2 to 3 years ago, and I said they're using the LGBTQIA community as a prop, and the LGBTQIA community sees it as acceptance, and by the time they're going to realize it's a prop, it's going to be too late for them. And this is why that's when they were doing that Dylan guy or girl with the Budweiser and all. I said it's all mind games. It's all mind games. And now I believe that many people are waking up to the reality of that. No, Nicki moves on to drag Chrissy Teigen. She says everyone knows Chrissy Teigen has had a DIK. You know what that is? Allegedly. She has a Chucky smiling margarita. Margarita with the olives, and she is continuing, honey. Why she's talking about Chrissy Teigen, it's not just out of the blue. Trevor Noah took some jabs at Nicki Minaj last night at the Grammys, and, Chrissy Teigen was there like, right on, you go. Chrissy Teigen should not be talking about anyone. Didn't Chrissy Teigen tell someone to go lay in a dirt bag somewhere? Come on, some of the tweets that they said she tweeted, they're not real though. Some of the tweets that they said Chrissy Teigen tweeted, they are fabricated tweets, and it was proven that many of them were fabricated tweets. But that one about the dirt bag, that one was real, right? She did apologize for it and all of that, but I mean, anywho, Nicki is now talking to the LGBTQIA community. You see, the thing is that Nicki is gonna win. The most authentic frequency is authenticity. And once a person is being authentic, once they're standing in their truth, speaking in their truth, you can't cancel them. And that is why they have not been able to cancel Kanye West. Once you're not being hypocritical, once you're being straightforward, once you're being unbiased, once you see something, you analyze something, and your interpretation is that, and you translate your interpretation of what you're seeing to people authentically, you can never fail. Even when others think you're failing, they're going to wake up one day to realize that you weren't failing. You were only, you fell to rise higher. So this is what is going on with Nicki Minaj. You mark my word, Kanye and Nicki is going to come back bigger than they were ever before. Mark my word, mark this video, because when I tell you guys something, you guys doubt it, and then when it happens, you guys are like, oh, so you're a psychic. No, it's common sense. Authenticity is the most authentic frequency. It cannot be faked. Once someone is being fake, you can definitely tell. Now, Nikki goes on to talk about the LGBT community. She's saying that the LGBT has also started seeing through the veil, and it has them pissed off. Why are they getting the gay vote by default? They've moved on from the gay vote to flying in people to vote for them. No loyalty to anyone. The gay community should be able to choose every 4 years like everyone else after the Democrats campaign to win your vote. They should not just get your vote. Wake up. Let me tell you something. If you think this woman is lying, she's not lying. That's exactly what they're doing. And when they give you all money, that's what they're doing. The immigration policy that Biden had, that was the reason for it. Why do you think they were taking people from different countries besides 80 to come into the United States? They were giving them money, having them in hotels, you know. What I've never liked about these policies is that there were retired vets who were homeless, struggling with medical condition, and they never looked to take care of their veterans, but you were taking care of people who are non-taxpayers while your taxpayers are suffering. If our government in this country of America should ever dare do something like that, there would be no more Jamaica. They would burn this country to the ground. They would burn this country to the ground, and they would get up every day and burn it again to the ground, irrespective of the fact that they burnt it to the ground the day before. They would burn this mother to the ground. I kid you absolutely not. No. Nikki goes on to further say, any Christian who votes Democrat again is a fool. They're showing people that it's okay to disrupt a church during worship. And I stand on that. I support her. No one should disturb anyone's place of worship, whether it's church, temple, synagogue, mass. No one should disturb anyone's place of worship. You want the pastor, you want the head of the church, find where they live. The kids were terrified. Innocent people were in there terrified. And that's just the truth. She's saying this is how they truly feel about you. The veil is lifted. No morals, no integrity. It's not enough for them to have an opinion. They've escalated to physical intrusion of places of worship. The demons inside of them are so bothered all the time. I support her 110% on that. She says she then says 17 hours ago, they're flying in immigrants to vote because they reneged on all the promises they made to African Americans. True, and can no longer get the African American vote by default. That's why I say you are hypocrites, because ain't no way Nikki's the reason why Trump won. She further states they're causing distraction in the streets to distract from the billions they stole from taxpayers. Where's the lie? Then she has Jay-Z and Ramier photos side by side. But I tell you, they look so much alike. But based on the fact that there's court documents that said another person was ordered by the court to pay child support, and you know that when someone is ordered by the court to pay child support, that only happens when a DNA has been done. So Nikki's saying, isn't it obvious? She's saying to you guys, what is going on? Isn't it obvious, you know? And she has her Wendy meme popping off with the Wendy meme. Then she posts Jay-Z and Aaliyah with Aaliyah leaning up on Jay-Z. She says, what in the F? And then she has hashtag child predator. Okay. And then she says, maybe I should discuss brainwashing techniques they use. She should, because many people don't get it. And that is what I've been saying to you. You guys are focused on Jay-Z. You're going after Jay-Z on this witch hunt, while the document said Jay-Z watch something, but you guys are not saying Harvey Weinstein. You guys are not pushing for Elon Musk. Didn't Elon Musk's name came out too equally the same? You guys are not pushing for Pusha T. It's all a programming, guys. It's all a programming, okay? But we're gonna leave that right here. We're gonna talk some more in the comment section. Stay safe.